Planet Neptune is the farthest major planet in our solar system. Before 2006, Pluto held this title, but the International Astronomical Union later removed it from the planet category, and Neptune once again became the last planet in our solar system. If we look at its distance from the Sun, it is about 2.8 billion miles, and you can get an idea of this distance from the fact that it takes about 164 years to orbit the Sun. Years. It takes Earth years. It raises many questions for us. It is said that in 1612 Galileo Galilei also observed Neptune. We find a lot of evidence of his observations, but he thought it was a star, and so he never noticed Neptune again. For almost 200 years, no one knew about it, and no one saw Neptune. No one even tried to find it. After that, in 1821, Alexis Bouvard noticed some deviations in Uranus's orbit while studying it, and as a conclusion, Bouvard hypothesized that there must be another large planet existing beyond Uranus. By 1846, their calculations were also pointing towards a new planet. Apart from this, another scientist, Urbain Le Verrier, was also independently doing his own calculations. And all of their calculations were pointing towards an unknown planet, which was yet to be discovered. And finally, around the location indicated by Le Verrier, John Gottfried Geiler discovered that mysterious planet. September 23, 1846 was the day when the centuries-old mystery of the last planet ended, and we found the 8th planet, Neptune. Now, one mystery had been solved, but many other questions still remained. In terms of diameter, this planet is the 4th largest in our solar system. The 3rd heaviest and the densest among the gas planets is Neptune. If compared to our Earth, Neptune's mass is equal to 17 Earths. It's just a little heavier than its neighbor, Uranus. Neptune is an ice giant planet which is completely made up of gas, liquid, and ice. At this far end of the solar system, sunlight is very faint, and that's why the temperature here remains very low. The methane present on Neptune vibrates in a special pattern for this reason, and that's why we see Neptune's iconic blue color. Actually, this planet got its name after the god of the sea because of its blue color, but just knowing this much about Neptune was not enough. We only had the information about Neptune that we obtained through calculations and observations while living here on Earth. But something was happening in Neptune's atmosphere that was probably surprising to scientists. Firstly, this planet was so far away, and on top of that, the lack of information made this planet even more mysterious. Now we needed to get even closer to this planet so that we could find out what exactly was happening in Neptune's atmosphere. In 1977, National Aeronautics and Space Administration launched 2 twin spacecraft named Voyager 1 and Voyager 2. These were specifically designed to study the outer planets of our solar system, and after completing this study, they were supposed to head towards interstellar space. About 12 years later, in 1989, the Voyager spacecraft performed a flyby of Neptune, and we got to see the first clear image of Neptune. This was the first time we had seen Neptune so clearly. After that, the Hubble Space Telescope also studied Neptune, but the Hubble images had a lot of data, but they lacked clarity. Voyager's images remained the clearest images of Neptune for almost 30 years. But the James Webb Space Telescope, launched in December 2021, completely changed this whole picture. And here is James Webb Space Telescope. This image of Neptune taken by Dora Lee nearly 30 years after Voyager changed our entire perspective of Neptune thanks to the Webb telescope. In this image taken with the infrared camera, we can see Neptune and every object around it. In this image, Neptune doesn't appear blue but rather dark, meaning a deep color. That's because of the methane gas. In the pictures, Neptune's ring system was visible and it was so clear. It was amazing. There have been many questions before about whether Neptune really has any rings or not. This confusion persisted because Neptune is so distant that its rings aren't visible in normal observations. The bright lens seen in the middle of the lake is a symbol of the terrible destruction happening on this planet. Yes, these are the fastest winds in this solar system blowing on Neptune. Storms are constantly forming here. Just imagine the terrifying silence of space, and on top of that, these storms on Neptune. Hardly anyone would dare to come here under such conditions. Do you think any space probe could survive on Neptune in such conditions? These winds are still mild compared to what's out there. The biggest mystery of Neptune is this: even if it's called one of the greatest mysteries of the solar system, it wouldn't be wrong. This is the Great Dark Spot. These mysterious dark spots were first observed by Voyager 2 in 1989. The dark spot present in Neptune's southern hemisphere looked very similar to Jupiter's Great Red Spot, but scientists were surprised when they looked at Neptune through the Hubble Space Telescope in 1994. That dark spot had disappeared. That means the entire mechanism of Neptune's dark spot was completely different from Jupiter's Great Red Spot. Whereas the Great Red Spot has existed on Jupiter for several hundred years, the dark spot's lifespan is much shorter. After some time, scientists were even more surprised to see that another dark spot had formed at a different location on Neptune, and it disappeared sometime between 1998 and 2000. And after that, many more dark spots were seen on this planet. Until 2021, Neptune's dark spots were studied only with the Hubble Space Telescope. We didn't have any clear view of these dark spots. Recently, in 2018, another mysterious dark spot was seen on Neptune. Scientists were amazed when they saw this dark spot on Neptune, which has a diameter as large as Earth's Atlantic Ocean. When this storm, which was moving from north to south, suddenly reversed and started heading north again. What is it about these storms that we are not able to understand? What exactly is going on? Was this the only thing we observed on Neptune, or do these anomalies keep happening on Neptune? The storm observed by Hubble was the largest storm ever seen on Neptune. After all, how do these storms form on Neptune? How do they suddenly disappear and then appear somewhere else? One thing is clear from this: beneath Neptune's blue color, there are many mysteries hidden that will make us think. Will the James Webb Space Telescope be able to solve Neptune's mysteries, or will it be like the Cassini probe? We will also have to send a similar mission to Neptune so that we can go into Neptune's deep layers and see what is really there. Yes, Neptune's largest moon is Triton, and this moon is no less mysterious. In the image, we can see about 7 moons near Neptune, but Triton is the main focus for scientists here. It is believed that Triton is not actually Neptune's original moon. It wasn't formed near Neptune. Rather, it is a Kuiper belt object that Neptune captured with its gravity, and Triton's extremely elliptical orbit is strong evidence of this. Many scientists also believe that there could be a possibility of life on Triton, just as on Jupiter's Europa and Saturn's Titan and Enceladus. So in this regard, this moon becomes even more special. It is possible that there is also a liquid ocean beneath the surface of this moon, where life might be thriving beyond our sight. Anything is possible because nature has always amazed us humans. We are amazed once again when we hear some new mysterious news from James Webb. But if you want us to cover this topic as well, do let us know in the comments. By the way, there are many mysteries. Even today, we are still surrounded by questions about Neptune. Hopefully, with James Webb, we will soon be able to discover something new and find better answers to our questions. There are some planets in our solar system that we don't pay much attention to. But if we study them, we might find many surprising things there. For context, our solar system is split into two main groups. One is the inner zone, which we also call the inner solar system. Here, the first 4 rocky planets are discovered. The second group is the outer zone, which contains 4 gas giant planets: Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. But here, things get a little bit complex. The gas giant planets of the outer zone are further divided into another subcategory called ice giants, which includes Uranus and Neptune. Both of these are ice giants mainly made of water ice, ammonia, and methane. This is one of the coldest places in our solar system, where the temperature can drop down to minus 220 degrees Celsius. Apart from this, we know very little about these planets, especially about Uranus, which is the 7th planet in our solar system. Located about 3.2 billion kilometers from Earth, this planet has remained a mystery to us for decades. For almost 38 years, we haven't sent any mission to this planet. The last time was in 1986 when Voyager 2 passed by Uranus. The data we collected about this mysterious planet back then is the only knowledge we have today. Apart from that, whatever regular telescopic observations have told us about Uranus, this planet still remains an enigma for scientists. Recently, the discovery of exoplanets has revealed something to us. Even though all these exoplanets challenge our understanding of planetary formation and evolution, Uranus is very close to us. By studying it, we can uncover the secrets of all those ice giant exoplanets. But for that, we will have to send a dedicated mission that can study Uranus and its surrounding regions. A new mission. Many people in the space community advise National Aeronautics and Space Administration to quickly launch a robotic spacecraft for exploring Uranus, as well as the 2023 Decadal Survey and Planetary Science. Scientists have also said to prioritize such a mission and suggested that National Aeronautics and Space Administration should definitely include it in its next flagship mission. This time, unlike Voyager 2, the spacecraft will not just fly by Uranus and continue on its way. Instead, the probe will stay in Uranus's orbit for years, studying the planet thoroughly, and will also study its 27 moons and 13 rings in detail. This mission will be fully dedicated to Uranus. Now you might be wondering, why are we sending this mission to Uranus, ignoring all the other potential planets? A mission could also be sent to Neptune and Pluto, so the answer is orbital architecture. Right now, Uranus's position in the solar system is such that we can reach Uranus from Earth. If we launch at the right time, we will reach Uranus in exactly 12 years, and this position will remain the same for the next 2 decades. So we have an opportunity to explore the planet Uranus. There are some basic questions that the Uranus orbiter can answer for us, like what exactly the planet Uranus is made of and why Uranus is tilted so much to one side. Because of this, during the summer season, its poles point directly toward the sun, which is different from all the other planets in our solar system. Where exactly is Uranus's strange magnetic field being generated from? Its shape is completely different from Earth's magnetic field, and it is also misaligned with the direction of its planet's spin. So, what exactly is happening on Uranus? Besides that, how does atmospheric circulation work on Uranus? And all these things together will tell us how it was born, what its past was like, and how it has evolved, how it reached its current state today. The rings of Uranus and its moons. Yes, Uranus also has rings, and it has 13 rings. They are so thin that they're hard to see with normal observation. It is believed that its rings are made of dirty ice, which looks very fine and darker. Scientists believe that because of Uranus, light waves are generated in these rings, similar to the waves that form in a lake. The Uranus orbiter will detect them, and if that happens, Uranus's rings will work like a giant seismometer for us. This will help us detect the movements happening inside this planet and solve some of Uranus's unique mysteries. Its moons are mainly named after characters from the works of Pope and Shakespeare. All of these are mainly made up of frozen rock and ice. There are 5 moons that are most talked about, which are Miranda, Ariel, Umbriel, Titania, and Oberon. All these moons are so large that they maintain their spherical shape. Because of this, these moons don't look any less than a planet or an exoplanet. They are worlds of their own. Voyager 2 observed Uranus's moons during its flyby, but the images received from the spacecraft were low resolution, and on top of that, only the southern hemisphere of these moons was imaged. Its northern hemisphere is still hidden from us and remains a mystery. This is one of the major unexplored regions of our solar system. The images showed ice volcanoes on moons such as Ariel. We also found evidence of geological and tectonic activities in history. The possibility of subsurface water oceans beneath their surfaces was also reinforced. Imagining oceans and life on another planet is not a new thing. In astronomy, there is a deep connection between the two, and it's almost a part of every mission. This will also be an exciting part of the Uranus orbiter mission. Many planetary scientists and astronomers believe that Ariel, or almost all of its moons, may have huge oceans of water beneath them. And searching for such subsurface oceans could be a major goal of this mission, and that's why this orbiter will be equipped with a special type of magnetometer to detect underground oceans. It will detect the electromagnetic interactions occurring with Uranus's magnetic field. The gravitational field of the moons will be measured. Cameras will be installed to study the surface. Liquid water, as we know, is an essential element for life. If underground oceans are discovered on Uranus's moons, it will be a major achievement for scientists. Along with that, scientists will then start searching for signs of life there, such as energy, nutrients, and organic matter. This organic matter matters a lot to us. Its presence or absence will determine whether Uranus's moons are suitable for life or not. This mission is very important for us to understand Uranus. We don't know how everything works inside an ice giant like this. Will Uranus have a solid rocky core or a liquid metallic core? What's really going on inside, it can only be found out by our Uranus orbiter. There's a 59-degree difference between its rotational axis and its magnetic field, which is much more than any other planet in our solar system. Uranus's tilt makes it even weirder. Scientists also find its inner part mysteriously intriguing. It seems strange that Uranus radiates very little heat into space. It is believed that when Uranus was forming, it collided with a large planet. Because of this, it tilted more to one side and also dissipated its heat into that other body. There is still uncertainty about where Uranus was born, and it's possible that the Uranus orbiter might give us some clues about this. However, no launch date has been set for this mission yet, and no space agency has officially talked about this mission. National Aeronautics and Space Administration has also not given any statement about the funding of this mission. The total cost of this mission is going to be more than $1 billion United States dollars. But here, it is important to pay attention to a critical factor that the universe works according to its own rules and its own time. If we want to send a mission to Uranus, it should be launched by 2021 or 2032, otherwise we won't get this opportunity again for several centuries. Planet Neptune is the last major planet of our solar system. However, before 2006, this title belonged to Pluto, but after the decision of the International Astronomical Union, Pluto was removed from the category of planets, and Neptune once again became the last planet of our solar system. If we look at its distance from the Sun, it is about 2.8 billion miles. You can see how far this is since it takes about 164 years to orbit the Sun. It takes 8 Earth years. And that's one big reason why this planet is so mysterious to us. This planet, orbiting billions of miles away from the Sun in the pitch darkness of space, still stands before us with many questions. It is said that in 1612 Galileo Galilei also saw Neptune. We find a lot of evidence of his observations, but he thought it was a star, and that's why he never noticed Neptune again. For almost 200 years, no one knew about it and no one saw Neptune. No one even tried to discover it. After that, in 1821, Alexis Bouvard noticed some deviations in Uranus's orbit while studying it. And in his conclusion, Bouvard hypothesized that there must be another large planet existing beyond Uranus. Bouvard had almost discovered Neptune through his calculations, but it still hadn't been observed in reality. In 1843, John Couch Adams was also studying the orbit of Uranus, and by 1846, his calculations were also pointing towards a new planet. Apart from this, another scientist, Urbain Le Verrier, was also independently doing his own calculations, and all of their calculations were pointing towards an unknown planet, which was yet to be discovered. And finally, near the location indicated by Le Verrier, John Gottfried Galle discovered that mystery planet. September 23, 1846 was the day when the centuries-old mystery of the last planet ended and we found the 8th planet, Neptune. Now, one mystery had been solved, but many other questions still remained. In terms of diameter, this planet is the 4th largest in our solar system. Neptune is the 3rd heaviest and the densest of the gas planets. If we compare it to our Earth, Neptune's mass is equal to 17 Earths, just a little heavier than its neighbor, Uranus. Neptune is an ice giant planet, which is completely made up of gas, liquid and ice in various forms. And we get to see Neptune's iconic blue color. In fact, this planet got its name after the god of the sea because of its blue color. But just knowing this much about Neptune wasn't enough. We only had the information about Neptune that we obtained through calculations and observations while living here on Earth. But something was happening in Neptune's atmosphere that might have surprised scientists. Firstly, this planet was so far away, and on top of that, the lack of information made it even more mysterious. Now we needed to get even closer to this planet so that we could find out about Neptune's atmosphere and then head towards interstellar space. About 12 years later, in 1989, the Voyager spacecraft did a flyby of Neptune and we got to see the first clear image of Neptune. This was the first time we got such a close image of Neptune. In December 2021, the James Webb Space Telescope launched and completely changed everything. Here is James Webb Space Telescope. This image of Neptune was taken by the Webb telescope nearly 30 years after Voyager. It appears dark, meaning it looks deep in color. This is because of methane gas. Methane gas absorbs infrared light and that's why Neptune appears dark. However, there are also some bright spots in the image. Does Neptune really have any rings or not? This confusion persisted for some time because Neptune is so far from us that the rings can't be seen in normal observations. But in this image from James Webb Space Telescope, we can clearly see the rings. Neptune's rings are made up of tiny dust particles and ice, which is why it's quite difficult to see them. These bright lines seen in the middle of the planet are a symbol of the massive destruction happening on this planet. Yes, these are the fastest winds in this solar system blowing on Neptune. Storms are always forming here. Just imagine the terrifying silence of space, and on top of that, these storms on Neptune. Perhaps Neptune's biggest mystery is this. Even if it's called one of the greatest mysteries of the solar system, it wouldn't be wrong. This is the Great Dark Spot. These mysterious dark spots were first observed by Voyager 2 in 1989. The dark spot present in Neptune's southern hemisphere looked very similar to Jupiter's Great Red Spot. But scientists were surprised when they observed Neptune with the Hubble Space Telescope in 1994, just like the one present on Jupiter. But the lifespan of the dark spot is quite short. After some time, Vyconic was even more surprised to see that another dark spot had formed at a different place on Neptune. It disappeared between 1998 and 2000. Until 2021, these dark spots on Neptune were studied only with the Hubble Space Telescope. We didn't have any clear view of these dark spots. Recently, in 2018, another mysterious dark spot was seen on Neptune, Earth's Atlantic Ocean, which we are not able to understand. What exactly is happening on Neptune? Was this the only thing we observed, or do these anomalies keep occurring on Neptune? Observed by Hubble, this storm was the biggest storm ever seen on Neptune. How exactly do these storms form on Neptune? How do they suddenly disappear and then start appearing somewhere else? One thing is clear from this. Beneath Neptune's blue color, there are many mysteries hidden that will make us think. Will the James Webb Space Telescope be able to solve these mysteries of Neptune or not? Just like the Neptune probe, we will have to send a similar mission to Neptune as well so that we can find out if there is something deep or even more mysterious on Neptune. In fact, it's Neptune's own moon. Yes, Neptune's largest moon, Triton, and this moon is no less mysterious. In the image, we can see about 7 moons near Neptune, but Triton is the main focus for scientists here. It is believed that Triton is not actually Neptune's original moon. In fact, it was not formed near Neptune. Rather, it is a Kuiper belt object that Neptune captured with its gravity. And Triton's extremely elliptical orbit is strong evidence of this. Many scientists also believe that there could be a possibility of life on Triton, just like there is on Jupiter's Europa and Saturn's Titan and Enceladus. So in this sense, this moon becomes even more special. It is possible that there is also a liquid ocean beneath the surface of this moon, where life might be thriving beyond our sight. Anything is possible because nature has always amazed us humans. We are amazed once again when we imagine such a mysterious planet, which exists even farther than Neptune, a huge and gigantic planet that is playing hide and seek with us in this darkness-filled space. It's possible that we might hear some new information about this planet from James Webb as well. But if you want us to cover this topic as well, do let us know in the comments. By the way, there are still many mysteries about Neptune. Even today, we are surrounded by questions about Neptune. Hopefully, with James Webb, we will soon be able to discover something new and find better answers to our questions. Our universe. The mysteries of our universe that, due to our capabilities, have remained great secrets until now. Some dark corners of our universe where perhaps we may never be able to reach. All these things inspire us to explore this universe even more. But now, to give a new dimension to our capabilities and our reach, we have something with us. The greatest space telescope of the century, the James Webb Space Telescope. This giant telescope, built at a massive cost of $10 billion, has surpassed all our expectations and gone far beyond. It is showing us views of the universe that we were unaware of until now, and in the future, it will try to take us back to the earliest moments of the universe. In this universe, from the very first star ever born to the distant alien exoplanets floating in deep space, from galaxies to the gigantic black holes at their centers. The James Webb Space Telescope will present this universe to us in a completely different way, where everything will appear absolutely clear to us. In today's video, we'll review James Webb images that instantly evoke that feeling. It feels like these images want to say something to us, images that the Space Telescope has already captured, and what mysteries are hidden behind those images, we will find out in today's video. Whenever the name of a ringed planet comes up among us, the only image that comes to our mind is that of Shani, the planet Saturn, which has large rings all around it. But the truth is that these rings are not limited to just the planet Shani, Saturn. The largest planet in our solar system, Jupiter, also has rings. But these rings are quite dense and they cover a very large area. That's why we can see them easily. Besides this, Uranus and Neptune also have rings. But because they are so far away, we can't even see these planets, let alone their rings. The eighth and last planet of our solar system represents the edge of our planetary system. Neptune is not only a gas giant but also an ice giant planet. Around this planet as well, that is, in its orbit too, just like Saturn. There are small particles that form the rings around Neptune, but these particles are extremely small. Scientists believe that these particles were formed due to an asteroid colliding with its moon, and that's why they exist as microscopic dust particles. They form the rings of Neptune. When Neptune's rings were first observed in 1980, scientists thought that the orbit of these rings was incomplete. That is, these rings were not formed properly. But later, this misconception was also cleared when Voyager 2 visited Neptune, and through its direct investigation, this new image of Neptune was revealed to us. And about 3 decades later, today we have this image of Neptune in front of us. This image captured by the James Webb Space Telescope is based on the infrared spectrum, although there is really no comparison between the images from Voyager and James Webb. Both are the best of their time according to the technology available then. Let's closely examine this James Webb Space Telescope image, where Neptune's rings appear more detailed and sharper than ever before. We can see Neptune and its rings very clearly. Neptune has probably never been seen this clearly before, but that's not all there is in this picture. Almost all of Neptune's moons, like Despina, Galatea, Larissa, Proteus, and Triton, as well as several other moons, can be seen very clearly in this picture. This planet, marking the edge of our solar system, is about 3 billion miles from the Sun. 30 times farther than Earth is from the Sun. This distance is so great that from here, our Sun is not even visible. Even during Neptune's day, it's as dark as a moonlit night on Earth. That's why the image captured by the James Webb Space Telescope becomes very important for us. This ice giant appears completely blue to us because there is a large amount of methane found on this planet, and this methane absorbs the red color of light. And we see Neptune's iconic color as blue, although Neptune is not entirely made of this methane. In fact, the largest part of it, about 80%, is made up of hydrogen, and the rest consists of helium and other gases. Methane makes up only about 1 to 5% of this planet, but even then, it's because of this that Neptune gets its identity. In this image, you can also see several bright spots. These spots are nothing else but clouds of methane. This shows that clouds do form on Neptune, but at the same time, these clouds keep circling the entire planet along with the winds. Triton, Neptune's largest moon, is also clearly visible in the image because a lot of light is being reflected from Triton's surface, and we call this phenomenon albedo. Scientists believe that the surface of Neptune's moon is formed due to the freezing of nitrogen, and that's why this moon's albedo is so high that it reflects about 70% of the light that falls on its surface. It is said that Triton is one of the coldest places in our solar system, with a temperature of about minus 391 degrees Fahrenheit. We are also very confused about the origin of Triton because we still do not fully know where Triton actually came from. By looking at Triton's orbit and orientation, scientists have concluded that Triton used to be a part of the Kuiper belt, which is located at the outer edge of our solar system. Later, Neptune's gravity pulled Triton in anyway. Here, we're just trying to make an accurate guess, and we make such guesses for so many things that are still beyond our understanding. Nebula. We all know that nebulae are clouds of gas and dust spread over a vast area in space where stars are born. There is a nebula like this about 163,000 light years away from us, which is called the Tarantula Nebula. Its scientific name is 30 Doradus. It's part of the Large Magellanic Cloud located near our galaxy, and it is believed that the most stars are born here. But in our local group, this nebula holds a unique place. Along with being the largest stellar nursery, it is also a bright emission nebula where we can see many new stars. If you look closely, you'll see many distant galaxies as well as stars in this image. From this image obtained by James Webb Space Telescope, we can learn in great detail about the structure of this nebula and the particles of gas and dust present here. Scientists are still busy studying this image. Some of the largest and hottest stars we've discovered are also in this nebula. Besides this, countless newly born stars are present everywhere here. And because of their presence, a huge cavity has formed in this nebula where there is neither any gas nor anything else. Dust particles. This is because newly born stars emit a lot of radiation, which has displaced all the dust particles present here. But here, captured by James Webb. One special thing about this image is that we can see new stars in it, but these stars are actually hidden behind very dense dust clouds, which are impossible to see with a normal telescope, and that's where our James Webb Space Telescope helps us, which is not possible with a normal telescope. To uncover the hidden mysteries of this universe, just like these stars were hidden behind the wall of dense clouds. But for our telescope, penetrating this wall is quite easy, and that's why this telescope becomes very important for us. By studying this nebula, we will be able to experience that moment in the universe when the first star began to form after the Big Bang. After all, what was it that started the process of star formation, and how does this entire process work? By studying this nebula, we can find answers to these questions. Here, you can catch a glimpse of that universe when our cosmos was just 4 billion years old. After all, we have been observing stars for thousands of years, but the mystery of the birth of these shining stars is still in the dark. But we hope that we will definitely be able to see that first light through our telescope. Friends, what do you think? Will James Webb be able to solve those mysteries that have been around for thousands of years? Do share your opinion with us in the comment section. Would you like to know more about such images captured by James Webb Space Telescope in detail? If yes, then do let us know in the comment section. We will continue this series further. If you like this video, do like it and share it with your friends. For more such videos, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell notification. Friends, see you again with another new episode like this. Until then, goodbye.